Okay, I have sewing machine ready. I'm going to start my yarn, creating my piece. Okay, that's not what I want to do. I want to make this one connect to this one. So, I'm going to lay them on top of each other, like so, and then I'm going to sew them. Put that across the floor. Okay. So I'm going to start this by sewing it, little back stitch. I'm going to take the bottom of the one that I connected to that one. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to take the next one. I'm going to add it on top like this. Now, I have to tell you, didn't come up with this idea myself. I have been watching videos for quilting. Now, the quilters do this when quilting. They just keep sewing and sewing and sewing like this, adding things together until they have a great big long string of material. Well, not strip. Depends on the kind of thing that you're making. But I happened to be doing this the other day. I was sewing this stuff, and I was cutting and starting another one and cutting and starting another one, and I realized, what am I doing? Remember watching that video where the quilters did this when they were making strips for the quilts? And I applied it, and it started working excellent. So, that's why we're doing it like this. And in a minute, I will show you, let's grab the end here, show you what to do next. Now you can do this until you've gotten, and I do a little back stitch on each one, only because a couple of times I've sewn and didn't catch it really well, so it ended up coming apart. So I do a little back stitch when I get to the beginning, and then a little quick one somewhere in between there somewhere, so that to make sure I stitch well. So, after this one, I will show you what comes next. Sometimes I have to lift up here a little bit. But generally, it works quite well. So, I'm going to finish this off. Although I have more, but I wanted to show you how to... Of course, you want to make sure that your pulled that a little bit. That wasn't a good idea. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go through and snip these to separate them. And after you separate them, they're going to be one long piece of yarn, which I will then make into a ball. And of course, if I had already a ball of red started, I would just sew it right to... Oh, now see, that's where that happens. But no biggie, because we're right in front of the sewing machine. We'll just add it. And that's what was happening to me if I didn't backstitch. Sometimes things didn't get backstitched and they would come apart, just like that. As I was pulling it a little bit to wind it. So, I found if I backstitch over each one a little bit, it keeps it from doing that, generally. Not every time, as you can see. Didn't work every time. But most of the time, it's a pretty sturdy union. Of course, that's the seam on the other side. It's not my seam. This is my seam, which I didn't clip very well. And there's a little mess there from my sewing machine, but we're going to ignore that because it'll be sewn right in, stitched right in. You won't even notice it. So that's how I do my yarn. There's a small ball started. I have a few more here to sew that I will add to that, and I will be able to start a rug. Thanks for watching my video. Bye-bye.